Bring the heat like an urban blend blaze. Crushing out, swaggering through the maze. Batman classics causing a stir. No limits, no rules, just a life to conquer.
Hello, fellow engine enthusiasts. Today on Doc Badman Classics, we're in Central Europe, in Bratislava, Slovakia. Struggling to pronounce it. We are at the National Transport Museum of Slovakia, and what we are seeing just astounds us. Motorcycles, cars from different periods. This beauty here. You may be following the OCC, Orange County Choppers series. So we did present one chopper here, and it has been archived. But what we find absolutely interesting is how European this museum is. And just underpins my thinking that one of the greatest inventions of man over time has been the engine. You know, you go to different parts and you see just these different ways of thinking. And this museum is very European. Just to show you a few of the interesting models that we're seeing here. There's a lot of Skoda. And the models you see here are not routinely what you will see in a British colony such as Kenya. So you will see Taz, you will see Simcas. There's a good friend of mine in Kisumu who has a Simca, Mr. Singh, and he should be French, I think. So Slovakia was a very communist colony, so you'll see influence from the Russians here, Germans because of the Austria entry here, and I mean, quite a good collection of that rich history that they have here. A lot of this is Skodas, and an interesting diesel work tool, if I may call it. So it's equipped with a diesel engine, and its role was to be more or less like a forklift in a workshop setting. They called it a multi-car. It's a 1962 production. Here a lot of parts. Again, quite unique models. A BSZ MNA 900. This is a 1968 version. I mean, it just astounds you how, when you travel to different places globally, you see automotives that are very much tied to their colonial history. You have not seen any British model here, contrary to what we will see in our setup. Beautiful Fiat Velada 1200. Again, Skoda. So interesting museum here. And I mean, the models just highlight that communist history that Slovakia has had. And this is absolutely astounding. My heart is racing just seeing the things that have been collected here. So yeah, we wanted to just give you a sneak peek into what is out here, so that as we continue with our work in Kenya, we know that we're not alone. There are many people who are already doing marvelous work at collecting these classics and vintages. In Slovakia, the war, and especially the Second World War, was very important in the history. And just as we see in Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa, the two world wars had a very big impact in terms of the engine architecture that becomes apparent in most countries. So what you see in Slovakia is very much driven with the communist history that they have, and therefore in plenty. There's more of German automotive, so a lot of Skoda, a bit of Russian engineering, but not so much westerly or Western Europe engineering. So just that just associates or underpins the history that is already known, that the two world wars drove the kind of engines that you'll see in different setups. And that is why when classics or vintages are classified, the two wars are very important. And therefore you have pre-vintage vehicles, which is essentially before the First World War. You have the vintage vehicles, the post-vintage, and the classics. This locomotive with the nickname Kakulka was meant for the rail system and the rail workers. A proper car, but runs on rails. And as you explore Slovakia, you would need to learn the Slovak language. The other day I was in a pub and a gentleman came to me explaining good things, only that he was speaking in Slovak. So slowly I'm learning the language. A 1939 Fiat 500 Topolino from the interwar period. This three-wheeler with two doors, interesting design that was intended for use by disabled people. Interesting. A 1968 Simca 1301 French model that has been very beautifully preserved at the museum. Good representation of the United States of America with this Indian Prince 350, 1928. Immaculately kept. A beautiful Cezeta scooter motorcycle, 1962. This came from Czechoslovakia. The Bommerland 600 is considered as the longest wheel-based factory-produced motorcycle, intended to carry 4 people with a chain transmission. Interesting. I'm imagining how you'd ever take this on a long distance trip. How would you do a corner on this thing? Interesting design. This was produced in 1939. The Bommerland 350, considered as the people's motorcycle, equivalent of Volkswagen Beetle as we know it, the people's car. This was a single cylinder, 2-stroke engine, and intended for wider use by a beautiful design done by Czechia. Another Bommerland 350, intended for self-employed people that would traverse the forests with it as they fend for their families.
In the nighttime, shadows lurking around the block. Got the streets lit up with no time on the clock. Riding low, windows down, feel the city breeze. Batman classics booming, rolling with ease. Fruit on my face from the life tough of steel. Living in the fast lane, it's all too real. City dreams and concrete lanes we ride. Batman spirit, got nothing to hide. We bring the heat like an urban blaze, crushing down, swaggering through the maze. Batman classics causing a stir. No limits, no rules, just a life to conquer. We bring the heat like an urban blaze, crushing down, swaggering through the maze. Batman classics causing a stir. No limits, no rules,